Greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Welcome to the channel and welcome to yet another conference. All honor, glory, and praise be to our one and only Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'm currently out at a location um, in an area that I came up in that used to be the weekend hangout for a large number of folk in the town. It was nothing to drive up here to this location on a Friday or Saturday night, and there would just be tons of people, tons of cars up here parked where people were just hanging out and socializing and probably doing other things too. But hey, I can't say I ever saw anything, but I wouldn't be surprised because of the type of folk that I came up around. But I can actually remember coming up here I guess it was the weekend, and I was just coming to the store with my dad. I think it was my parents, or I don't know if it was both my parents or just me and my dad. But I came to the store, and I remember coming out here. Well, not coming out here, but I was going to the store, and there were cars out here. There were so many vehicles out here that they had to park. They were parked all the way to the edge of the road. So I'm just going to aim my camera a little bit. I don't like to film businesses or anything, but if you can just see, this is a highway in front of me. We'll go up a little bit. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can see, but this is a highway. Okay? And there were so many cars and people out here that they were just parked up to the edge of the highway, and there's a car wash in front of me, and there was probably a car in every stall. I'm not saying that particular night, but it probably was because there were so many people. But I didn't hang out when I was very young like other people did. I just was a homebody, I always have been. But I just had to come to the store with my family or my dad, and in front of me, I don't film businesses, but there's a number of stalls. And back in the day, years after that, this is where the hangout would be, and there would be people that would be parked in the stalls, and people would come out here and hang out and socialize and do whatever. And I really wasn't the type of person to come and hang out, but I didn't know what was going on. But I would be at home, and you know how sometimes you feel like you're missing out on something. I don't want to get too much away in this conference, but I just wanted to touch a little bit about, give you guys a little rundown about the type of area I came up in. But I will just convey that this was the hangout, and people would just come out here and sometimes and sit on their cars and stuff. And I just wanted to film out here a little bit because I don't know. I see they're doing some type of there used to be a fence over here, and I see where people have torn down the fence, but it used to be a fence over here. And when I was like an older teenager, I came out here and I hung out a little bit, but the only thing I did was just stood around. I really didn't fit in with any other people that were out here. But a lot of times you feel like everybody else is out there having fun and you're stuck at home watching TV with your family. And I mean, it was just nothing pretty much when I came out here. It was just people just standing around, or driving from here to maybe the local clubs or whatever. But in front of me, I don't know if you guys can see it because it's so dark and my camera doesn't have a light on it, but there used to be a fence in front of me, and I see somebody has obviously torn it down. And yeah, so let me cover this up real quick. Yeah, that's what it was. Maybe I can aim this way, you guys can kind of see. I guess you can kind of see a little bit. I don't want to film any businesses, but this is a highway, and this is where the people, some of the people that were either older than me or in my age group would come and hang out at. And they would pretty much, when I hung out here a little bit, really just doing nothing but standing around. Everybody else was doing what they do. I was just standing around observing because just nothing to do. But there's a club down the road. Well, it's not down there anymore, but it used to be a club down the highway that people used to go to. And the area that I came up in actually had quite a few clubs, but they got closed down because It was just a lot of violence. It was a place to attract a lot of violence, a lot of not, I'm not gonna say everybody there was a low life. I can't speak on that. I can't judge people as a whole, but I know there were a lot of low life that used to be attracted to those types of places because there was a lot of alcohol, drugs, violence, sex, promiscuity. Uh, just it was like the town gutter folk. A lot of time. I'm not saying everybody was out there was gutter. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying those types of areas attracted a lot of gutter type people who love to fight and stuff because there were people that would actually even come out here and shoot up the car wash. And the people that would come out here and shoot up the car wash, well, one is one of the same individuals that went around slandering my name and spreading lies on me. So my thing is, if you're gonna spread lies on somebody, why don't you tell your own truth? You can't defame my character. Nobody can because even the few times that I came out here, I didn't belong out here with these people. I didn't have anything in common with them. I definitely was not friends with any of them. But like I said, a lot of times, you feel like you're missing out on something. And of course, it's just a whole different deal now because this is, I don't know what time of morning it is or day, but there's not a soul in sight out here. But I'm telling you guys, it wasn't this way years ago. Oh my gosh, no, this was the hangout. This was the hangout. And I can actually remember the person that I used to date. He was actually in this stall. I don't want to film the business, so I can't. I think I almost got my shadow a little bit. But he was sitting in the front stall there. I can't film it, and I already got my shadow, and I just don't like to be in my videos, you guys. I guess you all know that now. I don't. I know one of my videos caught me. I'm like, oh darn. I think it was two of them, but it's okay. But yeah, he was sitting in the front stall there with another dude, and the dude that he was sitting in the car with did not like me, and I didn't like the dude because I had to exchange some words with the dude's former girlfriend in the workplace. And the dude that I was involved with, he didn't even probably know at the time that me and a lot of these dudes from the area that I came up in didn't like each other because they've always been jealous of me too. So can I get no disrespect to nobody out there, but can I get two snaps to that? I'm gonna leave that alone. I had dudes hating on me, and I know many of you sisters out there, you probably do too. Well, I know you do. The type of world we live in now, I think it's worse. But I know in the area that I came up in, there was a lot of trashy males, not only in my age group, but maybe a little younger or maybe a little older. And a lot of your battles would have been actually with other males instead of females because a lot of females, they'll run their mouth but they're not about that action. Well, neither were the males, but they had as much mouth as the females did. And I didn't think that men really sat around and gossip like that, but if you sit up under certain men, yeah, they gossip even probably as much or even worse than a lot of women. And I can actually remember walking over this way, and I'm not going to film the business because it's a store, but I was walking towards the store, and I was very young. And I remember I had spoken to somebody because there used to be this group of dudes that used to hang out here. And what they would do is they loved to fight. So I came up in an area where people loved to fight, but they had to fight together. They didn't want to take people on one-on-one. And there was these group of dudes, they thought that they were pretty boys, but they were not. But they would always be grouped up together. And whenever a rival group of guys would, be around them or they wanted to fight them, all of them would jump in it. So meaning if one dude from the group was beefing with another dude from a oppositional group, opposing group, enemy group or whatever, then all of them jumped in it. So meaning all the dudes from the group and from the area that I'm in would jump in a fight behind a beef that was just between one person from their group and maybe perhaps one person from another group. So it's like they couldn't fight. They didn't want to fight anybody solo. Because I can remember a time when there was a dude from the area that I came up in. He had a lot of mouth, as a lot of the dudes did that came up in the area that I came up in. And he had a beef with some dude, right? So they were going to physically fight. And I remember, I don't know if I was there or if I heard about it, that people were yelling out, one on one, something like that. Because they were the type of people, they love to jump people, because they were punks and they couldn't fight. And I can remember even walking over here, and I had went and spoken to somebody, and who was actually, well, I won't say who it is, but anyway, I went and spoke to somebody, and as I was walking away,